If you build your business only on digital or only on AI, you will be comparable. Everybody else can do the same than you. If you have differentiation based on people, it's much more difficult to be copied, and you have a competitive advantage.
Work on your network to be close to people, because at the end of the day, we're always working for planet and people.
Welcome to the Circular Talk. Our goal is to make the circular business and lifestyle the new normal. And we're here today on the Bundesplatz in Bern. It's a very historic day, and I'm very happy to be here together with Tina Kempf. You are the head of sustainability of Lireco Switzerland, a large company also internationally. And with Christian Petit, with a very interesting background at Swisscom in the management, but also as CEO of Romand Energie. So you worked a lot also in the energy transition. So thanks so much for being with us here today. And it's a very historic day. We represent also a little bit Switzerland. It's actually the day where the Swiss will play the Spanish. Spanish are right now the world champion. And it's the quarterfinals, and they expect around 10,000 people here on the Bundesplatz. So it might get a little loud later, but maybe we get through without any disturbance. So Tina, for you, in your job, when you look at sports, do you see a parallel between sports and sustainability, or sports with your team?
Yeah, definitely. I see some similarities when it comes to leadership, for example, working together with a team, especially with an interdisciplinary team. Then let me say it's like having a growth mindset, or building a culture more based on learnings and not on a perfection, which is also very important when it comes to a team within football or whatever kind of sports.
So thanks. And how is this for you? Leadership, Tina's mentioned leadership. So you were often involved also at the top management of large corporates. So what is your parallel of sports and your work?
Well, I believe you can compare an athlete with a CEO of a big group, because when you are CEO of a big group, it's like a marathon runner. You have to run during years, and you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of the company. And to take care of yourself, you need to make sure that you have a good work-life balance, where you can take care of your body, with sports, with healthy food, healthy life, trying to have a good sleep. And then also to take care of your family, the related that are so important when you work in a high function. You need a strong support from your family. And then of course you need also to have a good healthy mental balance. And you can reach it with meditation, with step aside, managing your stress, have a good balance. And this is important. So as well the body, and as well the mental balance. If you have both, you are like a good sportsman or sportswoman. And this is very similar, I think. You need to go for the marathon for a long time.
Yeah, it's very nice how you put it, because I think when you're a CEO at the top of a large company, sometimes you're also very much alone, and you have to have a good like self-confidence on one hand, but also a good structure at home or family to hold you up.
Absolutely, and like a strong sportler, you are also very often regarded by all. So you are like in a glass cube. Everybody looks at you, what you say, what you don't say, how you behave, how you react. And a sportler is also under the camera and has to watch how he's reacting, even when he's tired or he's angry, how he reacts. And for a CEO, it's the same. You are very much under scrutiny.
This is something, Christian, that I was always impressed, that you, even in the top positions, you were very clear about the message you gave for sustainability. I always look at you as a very strong advocate, that doesn't look only for career or political, but really has also you stirred sometimes things up a little bit, I think. So was there a point in your life, that you knew, sustainability is really dear to my heart? It's really something I want to work for.
As you know, I'm working now for Swiss Cleantech, the Association for Klimataugliche Wirtschaft. And I speak with a lot of CEOs, with a lot of companies. And what I notice is what is the background motivation that CEO has. And usually when you feel a strong motivation, it's because they are intrinsic motivated. And the intrinsic motivation comes very often from the relationship you have with environmental matters like nature. So for me, it comes back to my childhood. I stepped in as a Boy Scout, and I was during 15 years Boy Scout. And I was used to live in nature, in the nights, to tease the animals, to spend my time with a team, which is also sustainable. To be together, you cannot survive alone in nature. And this is my childhood. And I fall in love with nature, also with the mountains. For me, the mountains have always been very close to me. And some years ago, I was working in the valleys, and I walked into a forest. And for the first time in my life, it was a dry summer. I did not felt anymore this evapotranspiration of the trees. It was not refreshing anymore. It was the forest was completely dry and has no fresh vibes to give me. And I almost cried. And I felt, how dare we to behave as we do? How can we continue to consume so much and make the nature suffer so much? And it's the same feeling when I see a glacier that is dying. I can't afford that. And I wonder, how can people be indifferent to that? And personally, I can't. And this gives me also the vibes, the intrinsic motivation to fight for sustainability, basically.
That's very touching. Thank you for sharing with us. And Tina, how is this for you? You work in a large corporate, an international corporate, and you're the head of sustainability. So, I can see sometimes this needs a lot of energy also within, the team to push for that. So was there a moment in your life, where this became very clear for you?
Yeah. Not that touchy moment like hymns. Sorry for that. It was probably when I bought a product, one I thought it's a very high quality, and then it broke right after the warranty expired. So first of all, I felt very cheated, and then I realized this is a strategy. This is a business model based on waste. And to be honest, I studied marketing and communication, and I know 20, 30 years ago, this was a very successful strategy. But from today's point of perspective, we have to take care about resources, and a product should last for a longer time as just for 2 years, for example, or should be repairable or recyclable and so on. So that was the moment for me.
I see. So
I thought I should engage in a different way.
I see. So a very personal experience with a product that you felt a bit cheated on even.
So don't talk about the brand.
We will not mention, no. And maybe now today, in your work, do you think to drive sustainability, is this more from within the team, within the company? And if yes, is it more top down or bottom up? Or is it more driven by the consumers or the suppliers or the companies you work with as clients?
Both. I think we have to game with both sides. So we should engage suppliers to produce more sustainable. And then on the other hand, because we're a wholesaler in B2B business, we should engage our customers to buy or purchase more sustainable. So we do both.
Okay. And maybe this is for you, Christian. You were the CEO of Romand Energie and really also driving the sustainable strategy there. And was it more difficult to convince the team, that of you, or was it more difficult to convince the board?
Well, basically both. But the board, I had to convince them at the beginning that they agree on the strategy. And with the team or with the staff, you have to convince every day after. And there you have to be in a position to show to your people that by developing sustainability, you also develop the business because they have some objectives to reach. And if you can bring together in the same mood, then you won. If you keep sustainability on top, it's always on top when I have time, when other objectives are reached, and this is not good. So it's no more on top. Sustainability is our strategy, and then you go for it.
I like that. And also, from your experience, you're also working with Swiss Cleantech and you're heading the CEO for Climate group in the Swiss French part. And what do you see from your CEO friends, what is their biggest challenge today? The challenge has changed over the last 10, 20 years quite a bit. And what do you see today? What is the biggest challenge that you see?
Today, of course, the worldwide mood has changed in the last 18 months. And it's difficult for them, it's difficult for me to keep focused on sustainability because the board of directors, the shareholders, they are now somewhere else, And therefore, association like Swiss Cleantech is so important to tell everybody that it's more important than ever now because the climate crisis does not stop. On decree from Trump or somebody else. It's not stopped because we don't want to see it. It's there and it will be each year worse. And therefore it will affect the business even more. And we have to get prepared because if we don't, we will lose a lot of value in our economy. And this is a difficult message because usually people try to oppose climate fight and economy. And it's wrong because if we don't moderate the climate, the economy will not be able to run anymore.
So it's in a way, it's like, the short-term pressure seems to be, it's not that important anymore, but like the long-term, the business model is even more affected. Is this also that you see somehow within your own company or with companies that you work with, you have a lot of like clients, suppliers also, but also clients that you work with? How do you see the challenge right now?
It's absolutely the same, and we totally feel this kind of a backlash. And it's even harder to follow or to be strong on your climate goals. So probably because we're here on the Bundesplatz and the Women European Championships, or I try to answer in sport term, we have to stay in the game. That's the hardest thing.
I think it's a very strong message, to stay in the game, to have actually the will, but also the vision and the endurance to do so. And do you see something, that fascinates you, a solution or a company or something that you just, that's just motivating you, giving you a lot of energy right now? Do you have one example like that?
I'm a huge fan of Patagonia, not just because of I love nature, mountains, hiking, and I'm really addicted to tracking material stuff and so on. It's more because of whatever they do, it's always rooted to their purpose. And for them, sustainability isn't just marketing, it's very deep in the DNA.
I would agree. I mean, that's one of the few companies that really is like, it's through and through and through, it's real.
Yes, and it's one of the few companies I know that is really regenerative. They are not only taking care of climate, they also regenerate. They understand their footprint and they try to regenerate the ecological footprint they have. And this is quite amazing. And Shrinaar, that has founded Patagonia, as I was speaking together about the roots, he was a mountaineer. He was a mountain guide, and I think he took his motivation from the relationship he had with nature, with mountain. And when you have this motivation, it's come from the inner side of yourself, and then you never stop believing in it. What you do.
And you actually, Christian, you now share a lot of your experience also with younger companies. And do you have a company that you particularly like, and if so, why?
Well, what I like with young companies is that they have no doubt. They just stand up in the morning and they fight. And I am accompanying some few companies in the digital transition. developing solar panel on agrivoltaic or developing Messpunkte for grids or things like that. And I am amazed by the energy that these young CEO deploy when they work.
Yeah, it's true, and it's also like challenging sometimes the more established companies. And I have a thesis. I mean, I don't have data on it, but I always tell the startups, that the best partner is a small and medium enterprise for them. It's not like a large investor or a large corporate, because I feel that the DNA is more similar. They can talk to the boss of the company, and they can learn a lot from the experience. So I always tell the startups, try to find a small and medium enterprise as your partner. Not go for Google or like for these guys. But it's a thesis. So Tina, is this something that you would relate to, or how do you see that? When you work in a large company and you work with a lot of suppliers, and what would be your advice for a startup?
Find your purpose, find your inner great thing, your heart of the company, and just stick on them.
Yeah. So really, in a way, be in a positive way stubborn.
Yeah, probably in a positive way. Yeah.
That's a good one. And for you, Christian, what would be your advice, to a startup, when they work with a small and medium enterprise, or would you say my thesis is wrong?
No, I would say when you start a company, the most important thing is the people you are working with. So basically, first of all, you must have a very strong internal team. Mm-hmm. So don't start with a team where you cannot rely on. Yeah. So be very selective. Yeah. And then you find great people everywhere, in medium size, in big corporate. Mm-hmm. So try to find people that are more than potential customer or supplier, that people that really believe in your project and are ready to help.
Yeah. And now in the digital evolution revolution that we're living, you still would say, go for the people first and not for a digital solution.
I don't say that you don't need to go for a digital solution, but you must be aware that if you build your business only on digital or only on AI, you will be comparable. Yeah. Everybody else can do the same than you. If you have differentiation based on people, on skills, on smartness, on kindness, it's much more difficult to be copied, and you have a competitive advantage.
Yeah. How do you see that, Tina?
Let me say, use AI to be more efficient, but work on your network to be close to people, because at the end of the day, we're always working for planet and people, and not just for technologies.
I agree. I'm also very much a human-to-human person, so I would be fully aligned with that. And with this, we come to the final question, of today, because for you, Christian, with all your life experience, that you have now, when you look back at the 10-year-old Christian, what would you say today to the 10-year-old Christian? What would be your tip, for him?
I don't know if you can give a tip to a 10-year-old boy, but I was in love with mountains as I was 10, and I'm still in. Yeah. And mountains are for me my refuge, a place of where I can find myself again, protect myself. And I think if you can stick to your dreams where you were young, you have a safe place for you forever. I have the big luck that my son, for example, as he was still a child, he was in love with Muppet and fireworks. Yeah. And today he's 30, and he has done this, from this passion, he has done his job. Okay. He has a Muppet theater. Oh, okay. He's selling a fireworks show. Perfect. It's financially difficult for him, but he has full joy because he lives in his dreams. And what do you want to wish best for a child? So I'm a proud father, thanks to that.
That's a very nice example, yeah. And Tina, how is it for you? If you picture yourself, like as a 10-year-old Tina, what would be your advice for her?
I would say, hey dude, you will travel the world, and this is really great. But there will be a time when you like beautiful things, stuff like glamoring stuff and so on, and probably sometimes you will spend a bit too much money for that. And but you know, in your deepest recognition, probably, you know that these are just things and experiences made the differences, or an experience matter more. So then just remember all the travels you have ever done and the experiences you have in your pocket.
Oh,
Something
I really
like that.
that's a very, very nice picture, you know, like really believe in the experiences, you know, love your experiences. This will carry much more than the goods that you can buy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It was very inspiring, very touching also moments, I have to say. So thank you, Christian, thank you, Tina, that you're here with us today. Yeah, and Hopschwitz. So have a very good day today and a good match in the evening. And we're already looking forward to the next episode of the Circular Talks.